Amigos de Loud Metal Radio, bienvenidos a esta edición del Loud Metal Podcast. Yo soy Poncho, ustedes me conocen como Dr. Slipknot y vean nada más con quién estoy hoy. Es nada más y nada menos que Cohen y Rob de la banda Epica, directamente desde Holanda. Guys, welcome to Loud Metal Radio, welcome to Mexico. How you doing?
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Rob. How you doing?
Pretty good. Enjoying the jet lag.
So it's been quite a nice trip so far, or because of jet lag, or...
So far, so good.
Okay.
We've done a lot of rehearsing and stuff, so
Okay.
keeps you busy and
Yeah,
keeps
of
your
course.
mind away from thinking about being tired and shit. So.
Yeah. So yeah, and this interview will also, I hope, keep your mind off that too.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Perfect. So I just saw that yesterday you were promoting your show in Reforma with all these signs and so on. I mean, it was for us, it was pretty amazing because people do that. So, but it's quite weird too because both of the shows are almost sold out. Well, the 7th is sold out and tomorrow's almost sold out. So
Only 250 tickets left. So
only 250.
Yeah, so it's amazing. But if you want to come and see the show, you got to be fast.
Yeah,
Probably
conseguir tus
100 tickets
boletos.
by the time that this gets broadcasted. So better
Maybe, yeah. But we hope that show also gets sold out. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that it will happen like that. But your card said something like symphonic metal is also metal, right?
Yeah.
So is there something like kind of a bullying for symphonic metal or something, or how did you come up with that?
Well, we are old fucks.
Uh-huh.
We're not into social media at all. But we have somebody who's actually here as well.
Okay.
She came up with this cool idea.
Genius.
Yeah, it was a genius idea.
Yeah. And it got so many shares, and everybody saw that.
And then, of course, you do a little bit things that are funny. And of course, in the metal world, symphonic metal is a little bit, it's the thing for fairy tales and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a fun thing, and also the thing we wrote in Spanish. I don't even. It's bring out the beers or something.
Saquen las chelas. Yeah, bring out the beers. Exactly.
Great, yeah. So that's all good stories to come up with, and thanks to our cool social media department.
Yeah, they totally nailed that. So, and yeah, you're promoting, of course, the symphonic synergy, and there's only, there were 2 shows in the Netherlands and 2 shows here in Mexico. So why Mexico? I mean, the Netherlands is pretty obvious. You're from there, but why Mexico then for these other 2 shows?
Yeah, I mean, this has actually been like a bucket list thing. Like the band. I mean, I'm like the newest member, although I've already been in the band for almost 13 years by now.
Yeah.
But this band has been here like touring since the very beginning. The audience here is great. This is like Mexico feels like coming home for this band.
Okay.
And that was like, if you think about it, I mean, there are still a lot of other countries that also would have made sense, but yeah, in that sense, Mexico definitely has like a very special place in our hearts. So,
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. So, but you've almost sold out Auditorio Nacional, which is one of the biggest and maybe the most renowned venue here in Mexico. Yeah. I mean, there's been some metal bands that they've played there, but their names like Deep Purple, Dream Theater, and now Epica to Auditorio Nacional. So, how do you feel about that? I mean, it must be mind blowing, right?
It is crazy, and actually we only planned 1 show. So 1 show here in Mexico and 1 in Holland.
Uh-huh.
And then both of those shows sold out so quickly that we could do a second date. And to imagine that we play here for 2 times 10,000 people, it's mind blowing. We never expected this. This is a total dream come true, and I can't actually wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be so much fun and so cool.
It's gonna be so cool, yeah. And of course, this show incorporates the orchestra. So
Yeah, but that's also a reason why we could use this venue, of course, right? So we have such a big orchestra with us, such a big production. It's really hard to find a proper venue where you can fit that all on stage.
Yeah.
So we thought, let's dive into the deep end and try to do Auditorio Nacional. And we sold out twice, almost sold out. Only 50 tickets left.
Now some time ago it was 250. Now it's just 50.
Yeah. So it
Get
goes
your
really
tickets
fast.
now.
But I'm so much looking forward to it, and I might even cry.
Okay.
Yeah.
But both nights or just one, or
Yeah, maybe both.
maybe both?
Yeah.
Because of the people, I'm sure you will feel that energy, and maybe you'll be able to cry both nights.
The only thing that's bad is that there are seats in the venue.
Yeah.
But I know we can take them out. But if we would have had 10,000 people without seats, it would have been mayhem.
Yeah, totally. It would have been mayhem
Yeah.
indeed. So, but yeah, you're combining the orchestra with your music as it's supposed to be live, right? But you're no strangers to this. You've done it with retrospect with the classical conspiracy and so on. So, what's new this time? What's different? Oh, of course, this. I believe 3 albums, Quantum Enigma, Holographic Principle, and Omega, have come out. But what's new this time?
Well,
What's new?
yeah, you say we did it a few times, but it's only been like 2 or 3 times that we could do this actually, because it's a really difficult thing to pull off.
Pull out, yeah.
But this time, we really wanted to make the orchestra sort of like the lead person in the show.
Okay.
So we based our set list a lot on the orchestra. Of course, we have a lot of moments in our music that are fully orchestra, but there's also a lot of like metal stuff going on. But for this show, we wanted to make the orchestra shine and actually build a set around the orchestra. So we focused on which parts are cool for the orchestra, and we rewrote a lot of stuff. So we changed the songs and made different versions. And this is actually the first show we actually built around the orchestra. The other shows we did was just Epica with an orchestra, but now we actually made the whole set so that the orchestra has a really important part.
I remember, for example, it was Phantom Agony, I believe, in retrospect, that it had like an electronic part that was not on the original recording. So something like that, but around the orchestra then.
Yeah, we did a lot of, I think actually maybe every song, well, there are a few songs that are not changed, but a lot of songs are kind of like changed. And we also can play some songs that we never played before that are only really cool if you play it with a real orchestra.
Okay, so yeah.
And of course, some new stuff.
Oh, okay, new stuff. Like the latest singles or more new stuff?
Yeah.
We have to find out.
You have to buy your tickets for that. There's still 20 tickets available, so get your while you can, and then you'll find out. So,
all right. And of course, you're working with a Mexican conductor, right? Dante.
Yeah.
So how's it been working with him? How did that happen even?
Well, when we started this project, we were in contact with the promoter here and with the organization.
Okay.
And Dante was part of that organization.
Okay.
And then since we also wanted to do it in Holland, but it's sort of the same show, it makes sense to have just one director, right?
Yeah.
Because he knows the stuff and we don't have to work with 2 different conductors, I mean.
Yeah.
And so we thought maybe it's best to bring out somebody from Mexico, from the organization who's already working with us here, and have him conduct the Dutch orchestra. And then, of course, bring him back here, or he has to go home anyway.
Were you gonna kidnap him or something?
No, but then we were in contact with Dante, and he was really passionate, and he looked really metal. So we thought, we wanted a show. We don't only want a show that sounds good, but we want a show that looks good. And if you have an old conductor, who only does classical music, it's not really cool. And he looked cool with his, mohawk. So we want that guy.
All right, and he's there. So
but you can also notice that apart from the fact that he's conducting the music and like leading the orchestra, you can also notice that also in Amsterdam that he's really kind of giving the energy to the orchestra, that because they're not that familiar with this kind of music, and you can notice that especially already with the second show that people in the orchestra were really like into the show themselves as well, actually performing instead of just being there, reading their music, playing their parts, and that's about it. They're really having a good time, and that's like also because of him mostly.
Okay, I would have never seen that, but I mean, it's really important to have someone that feels passionate about the music and can transmit that to not only the musicians but the audience too, right? So it's both ways, I believe. And of course, there's been a lot of surprises in the last shows. For example, the Pirates of the Caribbean medley and the Imperial March. I have a sense of you that you are kind of like movie nerds, or you like a lot of movies. What made you choose those songs back then, and will we follow a similar line this time or not?
Well, back then we needed some. That was actually done with the classical conspiracy, and then we had the assignment to transcribe certain classical pieces into metal songs. That was the idea of the whole opera festival, and so we chose some classical music, but for us a lot of influence comes from soundtracks. So, which is basically classical music. So we asked them, can we do soundtracks as well? And then, of course, you take the ones that are the best. So Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, So that's how that came to be. And we might do some similar stuff in the symphonic synergy. Yeah.
Okay. Do those pieces of music have like? Do you choose them because of the music itself, because of the impact it has on the movie, because of both?
I think we chose it because of the music, but the music is there because it makes such an impact in the movie. So
Okay.
right, so it's all like a thing that comes together.
A synergy again.
Yeah, synergy. Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't want to use the word, so but yeah,
I used it then. And you mentioned like you have to prepare the set list and so on, a mixture of those pieces of music, but your songs too. How do you balance a set list filled with the classic stuff and the new stuff and the things that fans want to hear and the stuff that must be there? How do you balance that set list?
it's a long and fierceful discussion. No, yeah, you have to kill your darlings. You know, you can't play everything.
Yeah, of course.
And it's always with pain in the heart that you have to cut certain songs.
Okay.
But yeah. It's just what you say. You try to have a balanced set with special stuff, with stuff that everybody wants to hear, with things that we really want to play, and yeah, you try to make the best out of it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because on one hand you can also do like, let's go for all the old stuff, for instance, and that could also make sense to a certain extent. But then again, we also like to make a statement of like, this is who we are right now. So we also like to like, make certain like newer stuff shine as well. Do like also the surprises and everything, because you don't want to repeat yourself too much either.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
And of course, new stuff because there's a new album coming, right? So
All right. Yeah. And speaking of which, you've released your latest singles, Arcana and The Ghost in Me. I believe The Ghost in Me had something to do with an attraction back there in the Netherlands. How was that? How did that come along?
Well, yeah, that
Because of him.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's kind of like a bucket list thing for me. There's this theme park in the Netherlands which is really famous for Dutch people. Every Mexican should go there once in their lifetime.
Okay.
It's really beautiful. It's kind of like Disney, but way better.
Where is it?
It's in Holland. It's in Kaatsheuvel.
Okay.
It's actually for those people who, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Mexican fans that went to the O13 in Tilburg before. It's like 20 minutes from there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So if you live in Mexico City and you go to work, it's the same as going from Amsterdam to that theme park.
It will take the same amount of time. Yeah. So like about 2 hours or something, right?
No, not even. No, it's
not
like
okay.
1 hour from Amsterdam.
Okay,
I guess, yeah.
And the name of the park is called Efteling. That's like a Dutch name, but that's also a funny thing to know. That's because we also are sometimes being called Efteling metal in Holland as well.
Okay.
Because of the fairy tale themes. And not that their songs are about fairy tales, but it's probably the vibe and everything.
Yeah.
So this would make perfect... it made perfect sense to go for this project. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were going to release a new attraction there, which is now released in October. And music is a big part of that theme park as well. So and the attraction was going to be a haunted house kind of thing, right? So I thought, why not make the soundtrack like a metal version out of it,
of course.
because it fits, right? It
Exactly.
fits the theming, it fits the whole storytelling. So I pitched that at the park, and they said yes, and and now because the whole attraction is based on the classical piece Danse Macabre from Saint-Saëns.
Yeah.
And that's what we do: make classical music into metal versions. So that's how it came to be, and it was really great to do. Yeah.
And now I believe that, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're taking another direction from what you've been taking, lyrically at least, from the holographic principle and quantum enigma. It feels like, I believe Simone said that Arcana was based on a tarot session she had with you.
True.
So how was that? How was the session, and how did it came to be a song?
Yeah, actually that song was written... or at least the music was written during the songwriting camps that we had. We had 3 songwriting camps for the new album. And, it was one of those songs that almost wrote itself. It's like there was just like the simple melody, and it was almost written in a day, like the basic structure of that song.
Okay.
And Simone just started singing. Like that's how she, when we work on vocal lines, she just starts singing, write down certain words. And then it was like, okay, we once did this... tarot session on tour. I said, like, all these words, the way they're coming together, this has everything to do with that tarot session that we had. Like, why not make a story out of that and push that into the lyrics? And that's how it came together, and it went so quickly So that's basically
The story.
yeah.
Okay.
I can go deep into the reading, but that's private, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah,
you
totally.
need to keep it a little bit of a mystery and
Yeah,
such.
and open to interpretation, maybe, no,
Yeah,
for the people
exactly,
and so on.
exactly. Yeah.
But then, are you taking lyrically? Are you taking a new direction from the past 3 albums in this new upcoming album, or is it going more or less the same way, or how does that feel in terms of lyrics and content and themes and so on?
Oof, yeah, we have to be
Well,
careful
yeah.
what we're telling now because we don't want to spoil too much. Of
Oh,
course.
okay, yeah, totally.
We're both
No, I
not the
understand.
lyricists anyway,
Yeah.
but I think that with Quantum Enigma, Holographic Principle, Omega, it's kind of like a cycle.
Yeah.
And that we are starting a little bit anew, also musically, but lyrically, I think so too, right? It's,
Yeah, definitely. That's like what you can already. The only thing that we can spoil for now is that it's definitely about renewal, like also in general in the world, but ourselves as people, as musicians as well. We're definitely into this new cycle, and that's where the new album, in a nutshell, is about. Actually.
So, is your perception of music changed during these last 3 albums? Because I believe the first 10 years were like an era. The next 10 years were another era, and now we're starting like a new one. Does your perception of music has your perception of music changed over these last 3 albums?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess like one of the most important things about also the new album is that we had a much more of an organic approach.
How so?
Well, also recording-wise, because normally recording is a pretty clinical process.
Oh, okay.
Like everybody records things separately, so and it's all. In the end, I mean, we're a live band, and that's something that we really wanted to catch on the album as well. Is that this time, for instance, we did like the rhythm section was all recorded at once.
Okay.
Together as a band, and normally
Yeah.
you record it separately. And we already tried it with the Alchemy Project, and that was first of all, it was much more fun to do because you're playing as a band and not like sitting and watching a screen like, oh, am I playing the right bars and shit like that? But no, you're focusing on the music and you're focusing on the vibe of the songs.
Okay.
And there is a much better balance, in my opinion. I guess we all think about that. Between the orchestration and the band, some songs are a little bit more band orientated, and once the focus is more on the orchestra really shines.
Okay.
So it's all about the balance again. It's more a mature process, I guess.
Okay. And now that you've talked about the Alchemy Project, I mean, there's a lot of guests there. It's Flesh You Got Apocalypse, Tommy Karevik, God the Throne, and so on. Can you give us a little more detail on how was the process of composing those songs? Because it has the most death metal song ever recorded by Epica, right? I mean, that shit hits hard. It's a really good. I mean, I love Epica songs, but that song was special because it's different, I guess. So, can you walk us through the process of composing with all these great guests?
Well, I'll just because this was more Rob's project, was like during the pandemic.
Okay.
But I think the main focus on that project was that we wouldn't have any boundaries, and everybody could like find people who they want to write a song with, and then Arjen, went back to his old band of God Dethroned, and then they made this fucking heavy song.
It's heavy. It's really heavy.
And I couldn't join because there were no keyboards allowed.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
like,
it's not metal,
meh.
right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So that was actually Arjen's dream come true. But
Okay.
but now I let Rob.
Now, I imagine before you speak, I imagine you and Simon like, what are we doing here, man?
Making coffee for the rest of the guys, so like doing
Okay.
groceries.
Sitting in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sun.
Yeah, baking worstenbroodjes. Yeah. No, actually, it was a very interesting project because of what Koen said. It was first of all Isaac's idea. He said like during the pandemic, of course. I mean, we were sitting at home. We were still about to release Omega. We couldn't tour. He said like, why wouldn't we take the opportunity to make even more music? Because we actually felt still pretty hungry after Omega. Because it was a very fun album to make, and we still had a lot of ideas. Like, why don't we do something like there were all of these bands out there who were doing collaborations, but just doing cover songs. Like, why not do something like that, but actually compose songs together?
Yeah.
And also, what Koen said is like, then this time we're just going to do it. We're going to do it as Epica, but without any boundaries. Like that's. I mean, that's a perfect example. Like, it doesn't have to be symphonic. It can go all the way. Let's just do it for fun. It's all just about the music, and we don't have to stick to any formula whatsoever. And that's what we did. And then we start thinking, like, who can we invite for that? And one of the first things that I came up with, like, for instance, we just had the 70,000 Tons of Metal. And that's when first time I met Jürgen from Shining. He was performing there with Emperor. I said, dude... We already had like a long conversation before, like we should do a project together one day, and we took the opportunity. So the first song that we came up with was actually the Final Lullaby. That's where it all started.
Okay.
And from there on, it was like I remember I was at a Uriah Heep show. I'm good friends with them.
Okay.
And Phil, their keyboard player, said like, "Oh man, I'm such a big fan of Epica." And like, "Oh really? It was fun to hear." He said, "Yeah, one of my dreams is to one day make like a symphonic metal song or a project or anything." I said,
Okay.
"Well, there you go."
Yeah.
And that's how it's kept rolling and rolling and rolling. And eventually we had to like put things on hold, like, or else there would be too many songs and too many options. And
Of course. But it feels the vibe that you mentioned, that it feels like there's no boundaries for Epica this time, and that it has a special flavor to it. Not because of the death metal songs, because all of the songs transmit something Epica wise. It feels like Epica, but it feels a bit different at the same time.
But I think that's the biggest lesson from the Alchemy Project, is that whatever we do, in the end it will sound like Epica, because it has the six of us, of course, mainly Simone singing. So whatever we do, you don't have to stick to your style, or just be open-minded and just try to do whatever you like, which makes better songs.
Okay.
And it will sound like Epica anyway. That's a little bit easy to say. But I think we took that to our next album as well. You don't have to be captured in a little box of your own style. Just try to be open-minded. What we actually also already did with all the acoustic songs. We try to go out of style and just make a country version of a song, or actually a salsa version for one song.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, you did.
I
Okay.
did already. Yeah,
Yeah,
should do your homework next time.
I'm so sorry.
No, we actually have a song that we sing in Spanish on. It's from the Omega Cycle. It's on the acoustic versions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's really fun. So we like to have fun. We're absolutely serious musicians, but after a huge recording process, we always like to have fun and just play and be musicians. So that's why we come up with all this funny stuff or out of style stuff, and that's what we did with the Alchemy Project. And we took that to our next album. Not that we do all stupid, crazy shit, but I think we learned a lot from it.
Okay.
Yeah, letting the boundaries kind of like fade, and because that was the thing sometimes in the past. Like you're always your worst own enemy when you're writing music. Like, first of all, you think, of course, you like your own ideas, like you have a good feeling about it. But then again, like, oh, what about the people? And then again, we're like, yeah, we shouldn't be thinking too much about that. It's like, just do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, you're talking about composing music, but when looking back to your catalog, has any song? I mean, there's noticeable changes in some songs played live, right? But has any song changed its meaning through these years for you? In terms of what it feels for you, what it means.
Yeah, but I think that's all because of personal things that happen to your personal
because of growth and so on, right?
Yeah. So of course, when Simone writes lyrics, at that moment it couldn't speak to you, but because you're in a different moment of your life, a different level.
Yeah.
But maybe a few years later, when you experience other stuff, then it can talk to you. And I think that's for everybody. It's not only for us, but.
Yeah, and of course you're talking about the lyrics, but musically, what you compose, what you do, of course, I believe it must change.
But it's
because of time.
but it's also fun to sometimes revisit the old songs, right? So a few years back, we did this 20th anniversary, and we played the set from the Phantom Agony, and it's really fun because some songs you just don't play anymore.
Okay.
And then you revisit them, and then you say, that was actually pretty cool, or you kind of like get into that vibe again.
Okay.
And maybe tomorrow we do something like that as well, which is still a secret. But if
there
you
are still like 5 tickets available.
Five.
Just
now,
5 tickets left, guys.
Yeah, so be quick if you want to hear that special song.
All right. Something that really captivates me about the band is the chemistry you have. Not just on stage, but you joke with yourselves. It's like. It feels like a real family, and of course, there's been lots of feuds with other bands. Not your feud. I mean, Jane's Addiction was like, oh well, I don't know, maybe, but
it's all acting.
Okay. So it's just for the media and so on.
Yeah.
But Jane's Addiction like broke up this year, and of course, I'm missing another one, but whatever. What I'm trying to say is, what what is the secret to keeping like that chemistry and that energy between you that well? Because there must be fights, or not fights, but arguments and so on. How do you mend that?
I don't know.
Or do you?
Well, in a way, you can almost say like you're basically married to. It's like a marriage of 6 people.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess we mostly approach it the same way that you approach like a family in a sense. Like you always like you can have this like a love-hate relationship with each other. But I mean it in the most fuck you, yeah. No, but in the most positive way. That's like what you have at home as well with your brothers or with your sisters as well. Like you accept each other, you give everybody space. Everybody's different. Everybody has different opinions. But that again, that's also the strength of it. If everybody would have the same opinion, it would be lame.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, I agree with Rob, 100%. But the good thing is we are not together all the time. So there's there's a huge part of the year that we're together on tour, but the other half we're at home and we don't see each other on purpose or by accident. You can fill that in for yourself.
Yeah.
But then again, what Rob said, it's I think we have a really good understanding in between each other. And also we all write songs, we all write music. So it's not that one person writes it and everybody's just following. So we all invest in the band. We're all betrokken.
Involved.
Yeah, we're all involved and we all want the band to grow. We're all there with the same mindset. And I think that's what works. Yeah. And of course, sometimes you hate each other. Sometimes you love each other. And yeah, everybody goes their own way on tour, but we go eat together. Sometimes it's all, everybody can do what they want. But I'm really proud that we are together for like 13 years. Rob is the new guy and he's been there for 13 years. That's crazy. Yeah. But I'm really proud of that.
All right. Did you experience some bullying like Jason Newsted experienced in Metallica?
Still,
or?
yeah.
Still?
Yeah, constantly.
To this day, it's been 13 years and still.
And that's why he's tattooed, because he was so broken that he needs to get tattooed to be cool.
Exactly. I lost the bet. So
I'm feeling a lot of pain in here. I must feel the pain in my arms.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. You've had 2 decades of musical career. How do you stay true to yourselves after all these years? Musically and like personally, how do you stay true to yourselves?
Well, we are in the fortunate position that we can make the music that we want. And I think that's really important for us as a band, but also as a person. So what we talked about, we could make an album that the record company would like us to make to sell as much as possible. Or we could make music that we actually like.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was the
approval.
No, but that's I think that's the strength of Epica, and just to have fun. I think we portray fun on stage, and we actually do have fun on stage. You're gonna see it tomorrow if you get that last 2 tickets.
Just 2?
Yeah, two left. Yeah, and but to be able to do this for 20 years, it's a dream come true. It's nothing more than a dream come true. And stay true to yourself. Just try to be the best you can for us, but also for the fans. Because if you be the best for yourself, then you are the best for your fans. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah,
that's like a very good quote from a certain famous rock guitar player. There's a huge difference between trying to be popular and trying to be successful. Like making an album that we like as a band at first. That's something that we consider as a success. If it becomes popular, hey, whatever. Sure, that would be great. But then again, the most important part is that we have fun and that we actually support and really believe in the music that we come up with. The label, of course, I mean, it would be great if they like it as well. But at the same time, if they don't like it, hey, fuck them.
Okay. So the first thing is that it's true to you. And if so, I believe it will connect with fans because it's true to you.
If you like it and if you like what you do, then you can see that on stage.
Yeah.
And if you can see that on stage, the people can see it. So they get energy from it. And then they give the energy back. So we have more fun, right? So it's like a synergy again. Okay. It has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, bekijk it.
Understandable. So, of course, we know the musicians on stage and so on, but we don't get to know the people, the 6 of you. So I have some random questions for you if you're in for that. Are you in for that?
Ooh.
Are you in for that?
Is that a trick question?
It might be. It might be.
You can have my bank account. That's,
there's no wrong answers, I believe. Let's start with
I bet there are.
there might be. Okay. Let's start with an easy one. Which album changed your life, Con?
The Phantom Agony.
The Phantom, okay.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for that album, I wouldn't have been here in fucking Mexico City as a Dutch fat guy sitting here and playing for 20,000 people tomorrow. There's maybe one ticket left.
Just one.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for that album, you know, if it wasn't popular, if it didn't make it do the thing that it did, yeah. And of course, the other albums all have their moment, but for me, of course, it changed my life. 20 years ago, even more, that we brought up. Yeah, it was my first band. It's like mind blowing if you think about it.
Yeah, totally. Rob?
Well, for me, that must be Quantum Enigma, because that's the first album that...
It can be or not an epic album.
Oh,
I mean,
in that case, no. No, let's now, I mean, considering this, for me, that was the Quantum Enigma. In a way, also Requiem for the Indifferent, because that's actually the cycle when I joined the band.
Yeah.
But the Quantum Enigma was also like, it's the start of a new era for the band.
Okay.
Like a new producer, new studio, new lineup, everything. And that felt like that was such a great push into the right direction.
Okay.
And we can still feel that these days. So
Totally. Okay. So next question. This is the one that has been kind of it delivers some hate and some love and so on. So let's see what you have to say about this. Pizza with or without pineapple?
without.
Totally without. You're opposed to that then?
I'm not. Let's put it. I love pineapple, but not on pizza.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so then I say with, because then we have the balance again.
There you go.
Everything balanced as it should be.
I
Yeah.
never eat pizza with pineapple, but I have kids and they like it.
Okay. So you've made sacrifices.
Of course, yeah, but I don't have to eat it, right? I can
yeah.
put it on and don't eat it.
Okay. Or you give the pineapple to your children, right?
But you can order pizza without.
Yeah.
It's easy.
But
right?
they like it.
Yeah, but then they can order themselves, right?
Okay,
Yeah?
gotcha.
So you don't have to share everything if you have kids.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Totally.
They can have their own pizza. I have my pizza.
You get your shit, I get mine.
People are starting to sell their tickets now at home, but yeah.
So there's
there are now
10 left.
Yeah, 10 left. Yeah.
Okay, so as I said, I believe you like movies, you're movie nerds and so on. Which was the last movie that blew your mind?
Yeah, I
In
have
any
kids, so I don't have
sense.
time to watch movies anymore.
Oh, but maybe there's a movie that they watched with you, or
But you are actually a movie expert or a movie nerd more than I am. I don't have an answer to this. Sorry.
okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, there are a whole bunch of movies, but I guess one of the like more modern movies that blew me away was Blade Runner 2049.
Ooh, yeah, that's a great movie. Okay, why so? How so?
It's like, I mean, there are a lot of these sequels from older movies coming up, like Beetlejuice or Gladiator 2, and
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. I mean, I love the first one, but the second one is ridiculous. If you ask
What
me.
happened, man? Who greenlighted that
yeah,
shit?
sorry, but that's
Money
good
grab.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go. But that's the good thing about the Blade Runner sequel is that this time Ridley Scott didn't take over, but it still has like it is like the perfect tribute to the first movie. It fits the time frame we're living in right now. The story is like top
on
notch,
point.
and the music, of course. Oh my god, that's
Cinematography, direction. I mean, Denis Villeneuve is like a god right now. So yeah. Koen, you watched this photo. I was just about to tell you. Can you walk us through this photo? You put that if you would have been told 20 years ago that you would be playing a twin solo with a sax on a curved keyboard on a stadium in Sweden, opening for Metallica, you would have sent them to the nearest doctor. Can you describe the feeling and what's going on this
especially
picture?
because of the saxophone, right?
Especially because of that, yeah.
Well, you know, it happened, and it's a surreal picture for me. It's because, of course, if you're a little kid, you never dream about being able to play in a big band on a big stage, and then you suddenly get invited to open for Metallica, which is a huge honor. Metallica is my first metal love and will always be there, and it's huge for any band to open for them.
Okay.
And then, of course, in the Alchemy Project, we worked with Jürgen, and because we had no boundaries, it was actually said, he's a great saxophone player. We have to put a saxophone solo on a metal album, right?
Yeah.
And it worked really well. And then a few years ago, I got contacted by the New Motion company for the Revo keyboard, which is like a curved keyboard that is like mind-blowing idea as well. So it all came together somehow, and you get a picture, and then you see me performing the saxophone solo as a twin solo, because Jürgen is not always there, and then I played that solo on keyboard. But he was there, said, well, let's make it a twin solo. And I'm in a stadium in Sweden, opening for Metallica on my curved keyboard, doing a twin solo with a saxophone. It's
Who would have
surreal.
thought?
Yeah, it's a surreal image, but it happened.
Do you remember the moment where you received the call that, dude, you're going to open for Metallica? Or how did it come to be?
Yeah.
Where were you? What were you doing? Both of you.
I was in the car doing groceries, or like going to the shop to do groceries. And it was like, I think in our WhatsApp group, we have a WhatsApp group. We can give you the number, you can join.
Woo.
Yeah, maybe if you buy the last 3 tickets, you can join.
Yeah.
Those tickets are gone, man.
Oh, they're already gone. Sorry.
They're gone.
Too late. No,
Sorry.
But, I was in the car and we got like this all in caps. Our management. We have to go on the phone right now. Meeting right now. And we said, well, if it has all the caps and all the exclamation marks, it must be important. Yeah. And it was because we have the possibility to open for Metallica. We have to decide as soon as possible. Otherwise, maybe some other stupid band will go with that. But of course, we are 6 people. Everybody's doing their thing during the day, so it was really hard. And then we called. Everybody called, and fuck yeah, I actually have a holiday planned, so I have to call my wife. And, can I go? Oh, not again, a stupid show. Yeah, but it is for Metallica. Okay, go. You know.
Yeah.
So I think it was the fastest decision ever.
Yeah, I remember
no-brainer.
there was something like in the WhatsApp group, like band meeting in 5 minutes, and then okay, that's must be serious shit.
Yeah.
Then our
You don't
manager-
get those messages often, right?
Well, most of the time, when something bad happens. But
okay.
Yeah, exactly. But in this case, something else happened, and but yeah, that was a quick decision because the first show was like the week after. Because I believe, the
five finger there.
this
They pulled
singer
out,
was in the hospital. Was in the hospital, and I believe like with the first show in Amsterdam, Floor Jansen did that slot, and eventually said like, okay, if you guys can do the rest, like it was still open. Like let's first try Paris and perhaps Hamburg and maybe even Sweden. Oh, and you're already playing Donington anyway, so whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a good experience
Yeah, it was
wherever
great.
you see that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Finally, what does the future hold for Epica after this shows? After the next album, what does the future hold for Epica?
Well, you never know. You know why? Because if you asked me 20 years ago, when we played here in some small venue or Circo Volador, a few times.
Yeah.
If you would have told me you're going to play with an orchestra twice in the Auditorio Nacional, I would have sent you to the same doctor.
Yeah, okay.
But for us, this is a huge milestone. We're going to have so much fun tomorrow. Tickets are gone, but thank you so much.
Pity.
But I don't know. I don't know where's the limit. When I started with the band, or we started the band, we didn't have any limits, and look where it got us. So I don't know where we can go. But I think we're still growing. We're going to put out a really cool album. Really cool shows tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, and fans are still growing and coming, and it's awesome. So I don't know where it will end. I hope it will go on forever and ever.
Okay.
It kind of feels like first thing first. Like let's first do these shows. This is already going to be very intense, and yeah, like Koen said, it's an amazing milestone for the band, for everybody, also personal. And we're going to release an album next year, and there will be tours coming up, and let's just see how everything will go, because you never know.
Okay.
And of course, we won't forget Mexico in this touring cycle for the next album.
Not.
Yeah,
and we'll let you know when more tickets will be available.
The
Those
last
who missed
few
out.
tickets for the most fans.
But if you really want tickets, maybe just check. Maybe there are a few left, right?
Could be.
Maybe we
Could be.
find some new ones. Yeah.
Well, maybe in a suitcase or something.
Yeah,
You
really?
never know.
No, I'm not kidding. Check it out. Go.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Vamos, vayan. Órale.
See.
Guys, thank you so much for being here with us in Loud Metal Radio. I believe you have, you do have a pop-up store here in Mexico City for these days. So if anyone wants to go there, do you want to give some details on things that will happen, won't happen?
That's a good one. There will some people from the band probably hanging around.
Okay.
First of all, unless you don't want us to be there, let us know. Then we'll fuck off. No, but we have a lot of cool designs, specially made exclusively for these
Mexico,
shows.
yeah.
Will only be available now the coming 3 days. So go there, be there or be square. There is music available. There are a lot of cool props in there as well.
Yeah.
You can actually make picture with a cardboard version of Koen, myself, and some other people in the band. And go check it out. It's really cool. We went there yesterday evening. They were still building there, but
It looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some great picture moments, exclusive stuff. I think there's even like the first 500 people get a signed postcard.
Oh, nice.
Exclusively signed postcard. I think there's some extra things signed. You can get our music. You can get. There's
Exclusive
even
lithos we have there as well, like the posters, especially. Actually, those are lithos. They are actually cooler than normal posters. They're also signed by the band. All cool stuff.
and some secrets. I don't know exactly how it works, but you should, if you want to go there. Go there because there we are giving away some really exclusive, interesting things.
Stuff.
Yeah. Also, maybe for the people who actually weren't able to get a ticket, you never know. Maybe you can.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, don't say
I
anything
didn't
else.
say that.
But follow Epica on their social medias. They're going on in here, so you can see them. Guys, thank you so
It opens up today, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this going to be aired today?
We can drop a fragment of this so it goes on social media.
Yeah. So
yeah.
go
It
there
opens
today.
today.
Yeah.
We're hoping to see you there. Los vamos a ver ahí, cabrones. Thank you so much for being here. Do you want to say something to your Mexican fans in here that listen to Loud Metal Radio?
Muchas gracias por listening to Loud Metal Radio. And if you didn't get a ticket, sorry. But if you did, and you did, then I'll see you tomorrow, day after tomorrow, Auditorio Nacional. Our biggest show ever in Mexico. Our biggest show ever in the world, actually.
Wow.
We have a bigger orchestra than in Holland.
Okay.
We have a bigger choir than in Holland. We have awesome children's choir. I'm so much looking forward to this show. You couldn't imagine.
Oh, there's not much to say actually afterwards. So be there or be square. See you guys at the show or at the pop-up store or both.
Or both. Why not both? Guys, thank you so much.
Con mucho gusto.
Nos vemos la próxima aquí en Loud Metal Radio. Sigan a Epica, suscríbanse, denle like, ya saben qué hacer. Yo soy Poncho, me conocen como Doctor Slipknot. Hasta la próxima. Hell yeah!